Now look what your boy done found in a German museum online. Uh, just randomly, I said, "Hey, let me go through some stuff in the German museum." It's kind of hard to see, but let's get in on this picture. After I typed in America, I got this. It's a collage of pictures in a sense, with a picture in the middle. What intrigued me? This right here. This intrigued me the most. Now, this says it's from 1666. That's quite a bit of time after your 1492s. So it makes me wonder, who was that? Right? This guy has on most of the feathers. She has on no feathers. Right? She has the little bottoms on. She does have the rings, but the phenotype looks a little bit different. Not to say that we can't have lighter shades, but they definitely made a distinction. Same thing with these two children. Now, the darker child is playing, enjoying his life. This one's over here playing too, and he does have on the little bow and arrows. Slightly different phenotype. Same thing at this door. She has on the feathers, a little bit darker than this person, and this person phenotypes are different. And this person doesn't really have on feathers like that. Notice that. This one doesn't really have on the feathers. So who's the Indian? Even in this little window, you got some darker ones in those. Now this thing is pretty wild. This is Brazil. Para something in Brazil. Okay? And it's pretty wild. It's like they got all kind of different creatures up here, like different insects and animals, like they do, studying of the world, the creatures in the world. Here you have, inside of here, a person that looks way darker than me with curly hair as the Indian. Now, I'm not surprised. I showed y'all another map about Brazil in the Library of Congress. And on this map, it shows Brazil. Same area, right? And on this map, and this was done in 1519 or 1521. I'll get the real thing from you. But this is what they showed. Brazil, 1519. And here I have a guy that looks like this. Now, there's striking similarities, even after over 130, 50 years, whatever it adds up to, that are between this person and the other dark guy. Red, blue feathers. Red, blue feathers. So who's continuously there? Where is the continuity? Which phenotype has the continuity of culture as depicted by the people who was there? But I also showed you another map around the same area, which was in the Library of Congress, and it depicted the people like this. Now, they don't show them with the feathers on, but I do see a resemblance in the red and blue little bottoms there. So either way, it makes me wonder. I don't have to wonder. I know who it is. Who's been there the whole time? That guy right there. When did they get here? I'm not 100% sure. It's really kind of hard. And really, this didn't really tell me anything as far as in the picture. There was no words to explain it. And it was on a German website. And I used my Google Translate to translate, but the words didn't explain the actual painting. So I really wish it would have. But you got to think, in a time where the only people that's supposed to be out here of a lookership of my type or darker or whatever, or even a little lighter than me, we're only supposed to be depicted as slaves. They got us all from Africa. We're slaves. Here you have situations where people are going around the world and they see people like this, drawing them like that. That's the first time. And I don't even know. I was about to say, this is the first time I've seen one of them Siberians. I'm not even for sure if that's a Siberian. That could be a Spaniard. That could be, it could be a Siberian. It could be a Chinese person, Filipino. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I know for sure what this is. And I know for sure what they did with that hair compared to this hair. If they wanted to draw it the right way, they drew it the right way. Now, people are going to have to account for why there's these people will try to say, well, this is after Some Africans have been dropped off. By that time, Africans had in some areas became very prominent. They learned how to speak the languages. They started flipping the script, turning into Indians, wearing feathers and stuff. And by the time the explorers came back in 1660, whatever this is, they mostly saw them in power. They wouldn't have seen when they got dropped off, Samuel. They wouldn't have seen that. You got to understand context. See, this is what people try to do. They try to feed narratives in your mind that make zero sense. Zero sense. I'm gonna make another video about some things I found in this same museum, but you gotta think. Like, this picture is from 1490 to 1510. Now, this is in an entirely different area. I believe it's either over there in Germany or somewhere in Europe. But you gotta think. This person is dressed very nice for being an African slave that somehow made their way. Oh, see what happened, Samuel, is the African slave, you see, they were sometimes able to buy their freedom. I don't know how they got paid. And we paid them enough to buy their freedom. And then after they bought their freedom, we enjoyed employing them in their labors. And not only that, they became prominent businessmen somehow and made golden things like this well in the 1600s. I mean, this is easy history. Yes, they started off as slaves, okay? But some, not all, like just like in America, you got your few tokens, right? We had a few tokens. You know what I'm saying? So if you see any photographs out there like that, as far as like paintings and stuff, just know it was a token. They forgot to draw all the African slaves looking like African slaves. They didn't want to depict that. They tried to air that out in the country. It gave them a bad rap. Yeah, it gave them okay. I'll be going off in tangents, but yeah, I'm gonna do one about this one too.